Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. Ooh, just got out of the shower, my hair's looking crazy. It is a rainy day here in southeastern Kentucky. So we had the blizzard, then it warmed up and got sunny, and now it's raining. So all in 3 days, and now it's like 50 degrees and completely pouring down, and snow is completely gone. But it sounds like it's gonna get cold again, and then I don't like January and February, it's not fun months. But that being said, we have successfully freeze-dried eggs. It is done. Whew. Finally.
What is this? Third try?
Third try's a charm, I guess. So now it's time to get them out. So we're going to show you all what we are going to do with them, because that's the easy part. All right. So it says when you're done, it'll say process complete. Let's see if I can, there we go. Kind of see it. It'll ask you if you want to do more dry time or if no defrost or if you want to defrost. We have actually already done an extra dry time, so this time all we got to do is you want to make sure your valve, your drain valve, is in a mason jar or something. We're going to open that up, and that just undoes the seal so you can actually open it up. So if you actually do this and just let it go, the door will pop open. Okay, so this is what they look like. Okay, I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the eggs, but now we want to defrost this, so I'm going to hit the defrost button. And keep drain valve open, remove product from dryer, close the door, continue. And now it's defrosting. So to get all that out, and we've got it actually going into a big turkey roaster for all the drain, because there's quite a bit of water that comes out of there. Alright, what you doing there, babe?
Alright, we're just going to put it all in this bowl, and then powder it, just chop it, hit it, punch it.
Punch it. Just make powder.
Yeah, make powder. And you have time, but you do want to hurry, because you don't want it to soak up any moisture or rehydrate. Spray, wipe, and rinse. So just get it in there with.
Okay, so she is putting these in half gallons. It looks like we're going to get about 1 3/4 maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And that was, we had 18 eggs per tray.
Per tray, yeah, so that's, let me do some quick math. That would be 3 dozen per 2 trays, so 6 dozen. We had 6 dozen total that was in there, and that made a lot of powdered eggs. So we're taking this one step further. We have our oxygen absorbers in there, and technically that's all you really need. Seal it and you're good to go. You probably wouldn't have, say, like the Mylar bag 30 years shelf life, because air can get to it. Yeah. However, we have an attachment that helps us get that seal
for longer term.
For longer term
because
storage.
We have eggs right now, so we're not going to eat these immediately.
Right.
But you could just put them in your pantry.
Yeah. So let me show you what we're doing. Okay. So this is our food saver. It's for sealing, what do you call it?
Well, it's like Mylar bags. You can seal bags.
Right, so that's pretty cool. But it has this accessory attachment for mason jars specifically. So you attach this on, and then you just have your lid. Don't put your ring on. And you place that on there, and if you hit accessory, and if you watch real close, you might actually see the eggs move, which is kind of cool.
As it's sucking the air out.
Right. Okay, then once it's done, I've learned this. You don't want to try to take it off. You want to take your little top piece off, because that takes the pressure off the lid. And then now,
that bad boy is sealed.
Sealed. And you know, do your fingertip test to make sure. But that's pretty neat. It's an awesome attachment. And our Mylar, or our little oxygen absorbers in there. Yep. So we've been doing that technique with all of our dried goods for years. So we buy in bulk from sometimes Azure Standard, sometimes just what's on sale and things like that. But bulk dried goods is what we primarily use this for. So we get our half gallons, we'll hook it up to the food saver, suck all that air out, and then you get long time storage with those items without having to put them in Mylar bags. Yep. So pretty cool. If you're interested, it's food saver. I'll link it down below if you don't have one. But they're pretty neat, pretty handy. All right, and because what harvest right freeze drying video wouldn't be complete without trying what you just did.
And I'm very curious.
I am too. I'm curious how it is. So what are you doing?
So I've got 2 tablespoons of the powder, and then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of water. And then that's gonna sit and rehydrate, and then we're gonna scramble it.
Looks like baby food. Mm-hmm. But I guess it technically is starting to look
like a scrambled egg.
Right, scrambled eggs. But also,
scramble it.
but also baby food. All right, so this is super cool. Like, so it's starting to rehydrate itself, and it's yolky. Like, it looks like an egg yolk that is completely starting.
Now, granted, this isn't like 10 years later.
Right.
It's right after, but
it's still really neat.
Yeah.
Surprising. All right, let's cook these things.
I don't think I've ever cooked just one egg.
Yeah. One scrambled egg.
Yeah.
All right. I'm so excited. I mean, it looks just like you just did it.
Yeah.
Look at that. Hey, losing it.
Smells like an egg.
Tastes like an
Smells
egg.
exactly like a scrambled egg.
That's so good. Nobody would ever tell a difference. We'll have to do an update, like, if we can remember, like, a year from now to try it out. But, I mean, you would have no idea that that egg just went through a freeze drying for, like, 36 hours, 40 hours, however long it was.
It's very good. There's no difference.
0. Oh, thank you. Sweet baby Jesus, that we finally figured out how to do this thing. We finally figured out how to do this
Finally
thing.
made us believers.
That's awesome. Sweet. Was it good? You excited for Sunday dinner? Uh-huh. So Mommy is making her famous roast for Sunday dinner. French onion, gravy, all that good stuff. It's absolutely fantastically delicious. She did a video about it. Fantastically delicious. We did a whole recipe video on that. We'll make sure to link it down below. But the eggs, as you all saw, were a great success. It's many hours later after we've let it defrost. And now we are doing apples and pears, which you all saw us cutting up. So these are ones that were in the fridge that were on their way out, right? So
They weren't bad.
No.
They just needed to be eaten.
Right, and there was too many for us to just start bombarding down. So we are going to freeze dry them now, and that's going to be really exciting. So the freeze dryer is cooling, and we'll get these bad boys in there. But before we get to freeze drying, what are you doing, baby?
So we're having our salad greens with our dinner, but we don't have any bacon. All of our Mama Pig bacon is gone, and we're doing the pantry challenge, so we cannot go buy bacon. So I'm gonna fry up some pork shanks from Mama Pig, and I'm gonna put them in the greens to replace the bacon. It's gonna be really good.
So fun fact, like when you buy greens at the store, like you're normally getting collard greens, or what's some other, there's a few others. That
Turnip greens, collard greens.
Right, so I feel like we have this thing in our head, like it has to be one of those, right, when you make greens. Your salad that you eat fresh, you can cook down and make greens out of, and they taste just as good, if not better.
I call it wilted greens.
Wilted greens, yeah.
And I just use what we have growing and turn them into what collard greens or turnip greens would be.
Yeah, so if you are doing like we are and have a bunch of winter greens going and you're like, man, I'm like over salads, I need something different. Wilt them down, throw a little bacon or some ham shanks up in there, and you got you some collard greens.
Yep.
And you can call them whatever you want to. Okay, so our greens, I just went out and cut them up. They all did well through all out of the cold that we had.
Yay.
It's a mix of arugula, kale, bok choy, and some like just regular salad
They
greens.
smell so fresh.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Raylan ate the arugula. She goes, oh, that's so spicy, so spicy. Arugula is kind of like cilantro. You either love it or hate it, but it does give a nice heat kick to any of your greens if you've never grown it before. It's awesome. It's hearty and it's prolific. Like we have arugula running out of our ears, if you were curious. So that's just our little salad spinner that she's putting in. So she's chopping them up. Gonna spin them, get the liquid off any slugs because we did find a couple, and then she'll wilt them down. Okay, so this little girl right here, she likes to put a painting or drawing on our fridge, usually on whatever season it is. So she brought it to my attention that what was on there was a Christmas drawing. So what did you draw for us to look forward to now? Tell us what it's about.
It's a garden. This is the trees. This is the pond, and that's the clouds, and that's the flowers.
That is awesome. So you drew a garden with a pond and some clouds. So you're getting excited for spring and for gardening, huh? I love it.
All right, so it's been a really, I wouldn't say a long week or a bad week. It's just been getting back to work, getting back to school.
Oh, long way for me.
We've been doing the pantry challenge, and the kids have been doing amazing. They have been eating everything we've eaten. There has been no special meals made. They've done awesome. So we figured we would surprise them with a little treat tonight.
Yeah. So we are going to have movie night. And so they got a little bit of Sprite, some cookies, some Reese's, and some popcorn. And we were watching The Indian in the Cupboard.
Yeah, Wyatt's actually been reading this book, so I think he's going to be surprised and think it's really cool to see the movie.
Yeah, it's going to make sense. So you're going to see us surprise them. Yeah,
She was standing at the door.
Welcome to the Stivers movie theater. Come join us. Take your seats.
First of all, do you have your tickets?
I give them your food. I'll be right back.
No, go on. It's okay.
Come on, we're just kidding. Come check it out. What do y'all think?
What do you think?
I'm eyeballing this. This one is mine. It ain't yours. It's mine.
Are you excited?
Yeah. Do I look like I'm not?
You know what we're going to watch?
Huh?
You know what we're going to watch? The Indian in the Cupboard.
Yes!
That's all that reading you've been doing. Now you get some
I've
movie.
always wanted to watch that.
There you go. All right, let's do this thing. All right, it is the next morning. Movie night was awesome. Really brought Jen and I back to our 90s childhood with The Indian in the Cupboard. If you've never seen it, it's a great family movie. It's a great book, too. And Wyatt, like most all of us, the books are always better than the movie, but he still liked it a whole lot. So, if you're looking for one, go watch it. You'll not regret it, you and the kiddos. So, the apples and pears are actually going really fast compared to some of the other things that we've done. That's usually a case on the amount of water that's in the item that you're freeze drying. So I was going to give you a little check in on that, and then we're going to see it once it gets done. So there they are. That's really exciting. Now that we have finally figured out how to truly use this thing appropriately, it's going to be a game changer. Because the biggest thing that on our farm that we have issues with is eggs and milk. That's one of the main reasons we wanted this. And for those quick, need to freeze dry before it spoils kind of thing, we don't have time to can. It's just awesome. So I'm excited to see these and see how they taste once they get done. All right, it's test time. So we are done. I need to open the drain valve. Always read your instructions right here. It tells you exactly what you need to do, and our biggest mistake is not following that. All right, Jen's got the Mylar bags, and she's got it labeled, and they look really, really good.
It tastes really good too.
Let's get these in, and we'll give you our thoughts about it. Okay, so that made 2 of the large Mylar bags, large size ones, completely full that we have. 1 little pint that didn't fit, so we'll just leave that on the pantry and we'll eat these as a snack. And then now, Jen's got a few pears left over that we're going to rehydrate and see how they taste. One thing too to know, just if you was curious, like you don't have to, like they're edible, freeze dried.
And they're very good.
And they're very good. They are. It's like a
dried fruit.
Yeah, exactly, like a dried fruit snack. So you do have that option as well. But out of the curiosity to see how well things rehydrate, we like to test it out and
just
see how it
in
goes.
case you wanted to, I don't know, make apple pie or something.
Yeah, exactly. So things that we're looking for is like consistency. Like, is it rehydrating as if we cut this pear?
Or is it a soggy mess?
Yeah, is it a soggy mess? Because that's good stuff to know as you're preserving moving forward. If it's something that maybe would be better as a canned item over freeze dried, and just you want to make sure it's the way that you like it. Also, side note, don't worry about how much water to add. They're supposed to only absorb what they need to come back to form, and the rest will just sit. So you can take them out from there. Just an FYI. You also don't have to rehydrate in water. So, like, if you did meat, you could rehydrate in your favorite sauce, like Del sauce. You know, that's a good one that people like to marinate their food in. And actually, that marination would go even more into the meat because it's truly absorbing it. When it's fresh meat, it probably won't absorb near as much because it doesn't need it.
We haven't done meat yet.
It'll be coming up soon. I would say probably once we get T-bone back, we'll probably go through the deep freeze and probably dehydrate some older stuff.
Yeah.
Dehydrate, freeze dry some older stuff and check it out that way. But just a couple little tidbits if you run away. Okay, they are rehydrated.
Yum.
So, I don't eat pears very often.
I love pears.
Is that how it feels? I mean, it feels a little mushy. Is that right, though? Because they're kind of soft inside.
Kind of soft when we put them in there.
That's true. But, you know, it's not like dangling or anything. You can get a good bite out of it. It probably could have hydrated a little bit more, but you can get a good bite out of it. Tastes fantastic.
Tastes like a pear.
It tastes like you just cut the pear up and you're eating it.
It's very fresh.
It is mind-blowing to do this kind of stuff. You just don't think that it would come back to the consistency that it was as a natural item, but it really does.
I wouldn't say it's 100% perfect, but
no,
it's pretty close.
Right. I mean, when you think about, sometimes when you think about freeze-dried food, you almost think about like astronaut food or what's the Camping Mills? MRE, you know, just like mush, you know, just a big old bag of mush stuff that you're just eating because you need the food.
Right.
Like, this is good. It's actually good food. And so it's just endless options like we keep talking about. Can't wait to start doing some more like leftovers after we have big meals, doing that. And then, of course, gardening season. You know, that I was telling her, I said, the cool thing is, because canning is still soft spot in her heart. I got her an all-American canner for Christmas. You know, that's something that we're always going to do. But there's sometimes the table is full of produce, and you're like, we can't get to canning this week. This option allows that stuff to not go bad, or not have to, you know, go to the animals or whatever. So it's just
pretty much virtually anything. It's just a whole lot less waste of your food because if you have leftovers, just freeze dry them. You know, if you've got a small pot of something that is not necessarily enough to keep, but it's enough that you don't want to throw out.
Right.
Freeze dry it and make a side of it. Put it in a small Mylar bag, and then you can take it camping, or you have it as a side whenever. It's just really cool.
It is really neat. Man, I don't know. You just can't say enough things. These actually took the least amount of time possible. I think it only took about 24 hours, if that, to completely do the entire process. So that's pretty sweet. All right. Now, I know these things are expensive. We've gone through the math on like how it breaks down to make it worth it, but we understand that. However, if you ever do buy one, use a YouTuber's link. There's not really any discounts that they don't give. They don't really have any codes and stuff, but all the YouTubers that are showing this are primarily affiliates. So pick one, use your link before you purchase that. Don't just go to Harvest Right and just buy it by yourself. Ours is always linked down below if you're interested in getting that. But success, babe. Did it.
Finally did it. What's next?
I don't know. We'll find something. Right now it's defrosting.
Lentil soup for dinner. So maybe if we have leftovers, we can freeze dry that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. All right. Well, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to down below for more.
We love you.
Until the next one. Bye.